Hi, here we go. Um, just literally a few slides today, a pretty easy concept. We're going to talk about value. Remember, I mentioned that we have like 100 million rods in our eyes. So that means we are super sensitive to value. When we talk about value in art, we're talking about brightness. We're not talking about worth. So we're talking all about brightness. So again, just a few slides, and then we'll switch videos again to some demo stuff. So we're talking about value and the grayscale. So brightness and variation. And again, these are two of the elements of design. So value is a component of color. And it's how we're able to see changes in space and see changes in color. And it's an important part of color contrast. And it's how we're able to see volume in naturalistic depicted space. So you can see here, we're able to interpret all of black and white photography or drawing with pencil, all by changes in value. So you can see the multiple value changes happening here in this photo, and value is also what is giving us where the light source is, even though the light source is out of the scene. So you can see by the angle of the shadows up on the ceiling rafters, we can intuit that value is down off the screen to the lower left. And value can be used to imply lines too. So you guys know that there aren't real lines here. There aren't lines like a cartoon or a comic book drawing. It's just abutting values that indicate changes in planes. So variation in value can cause variation in depth and add a sense of space to a surface. Important to note also is atmospheric perspective. And this is the way that we're able to see distance, or the way we do see distance. If you notice up front, the super darkness of the values very close to the viewer, even with the whiteness of the clouds that are close to us are very white. So we see a high dynamic range of values really close to us, um, but really far away in the distance, you can see the mountains back there, and they have a much smaller range of values. So it's sort of grayed out. So we get this crispness up close, reinforced by the range of values, and this sort of dulling out as you go further and further away from the viewer. So we see there's fewer values and fewer value changes happening on the mountain range back behind. So here's an older one of my paintings. You can see it's all about highly saturated color. If we just switch this to black and white, we see that it maintains the value dynamism, but the color is gone. So this is a grayscale, and this is like the worst project when you're an art student, I know. If you've ever done a grayscale before, it's this total game. But what you've got on the left is a value of 0, which is black, so no lightness. And on the far right, a value of, what's this scale? 7. So that's supposed to be full brightness. And it's important to understand that we hardly ever see pure black unless we're in a cave or something. And we hardly ever see pure white. That's because under any lighting conditions, white and black both will take on tinges of the ambient light. So whenever we see a white surface, like if you look around at your walls, the first thing that pops in your head is that they're white. But then you put a white sheet of copier paper up on the wall, you can see that your wall is more beigey, probably. And even the copier paper, we can't necessarily say that that is true light. So the target for what is true light is always moving around. What you've got happening with the circles in the middle is the central neutral gray, so that's the gray right in the middle of the value scale, circles of that into the different sides of the value scale. So we can see that when that neutral gray is taken and put on top of the black, it looks like it's really bright. If we take that same neutral gray and put it on the white side of the value scale, we can see that that circle looks very dark. So grays are always relative to the brightness, the value of their surrounding colors and values. Okay, so that's it. Like I said, really short slides. And so of course, you know, this means that we're going to do a value scale for the assignment, for the first assignment. And what I'm going to show you is what I want you to produce. And I'm going to show you some technique now for using the paint and making straight edges. So we'll switch to the next video.